Overwatch World Cup Paris group stage. I am Malik, and I'm all dappered up today, not only because it's the final day of our group stages overall, but because I wanted to look half as stunning as my talented friend, Zoe, here.
Stop it, Malik. And if I say stop it, I really mean continue. Speaking of continuation, this is the last and final day of the Overwatch World Cup group stage here in Paris. So let's take a quick look at the standings to see what could happen today. And we're currently seeing that the UK and France are leading the pack with 3 match victories each. And unfortunately, the Netherlands, Poland, as well as Germany are eliminated, but they could still play spoiler to the UK and France. And if you like quick math, you see that Italy still has a path to find their way into the BlizzCon bracket too.
Ooh, quick math, I love it, I love it. You know, some serious BlizzCon implications going into day 3, but let's take a look at today's full slate of matches. Getting the day started, we have Italy and Germany. Italy's BlizzCon chances hanging by a thread right now. We then have Poland and France facing off. Italy, I know, I'm excited too, guys. Italy will then take the stage against the United Kingdom. Poland will square off against the Netherlands, and we'll end the day with the hypest match of this entire group stage. Team UK going up against Team France. That one is going to slap super hard. And there's a really good chance that match is going to be for the #1 seed.
Exactly, and of course we're speaking of the #1 seed for BlizzCon. So after this last match of the day is over, you should really stick around because we will be doing the official BlizzCon bracket draw on this very stage, and there we will be determining who will be squaring off against who at BlizzCon in November.
That's right, that's right. And guys, we want you to continue to send all of your love and your support over social media. So make sure you hit Twitter with the hashtag OWWC2018, and you may be a part of our fan post brought to you by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. Get those Twitter fingers going. Hurry up.
We can't wait to see what you have to say. But now I think it is time to get those first 2 teams onto the stage.
Indeed, indeed. You have all the power, Zoe. Use it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I will use it wisely. And with that, I mean, I will be bringing up the first team. Please make some noise for Team Italy. That's right, that's right. They fought hard to get here onto this stage. Let me paint the perfect picture for you. They need to 4-0 Germany today. They need to at least 3-1 the UK. And then they still need to rely on the results of other teams. So that will be the ideal Italian picture painted for you for their path to BlizzCon. But regardless of all of that, those guys will be playing their hearts out on this very stage because they are eager to put their names and Italian Overwatch on everyone's radar out there.
That's right, that's right. But the team they're going up against, Zoe, is not a team to be slept on either. Everybody help me. Welcome to the stage, Team Germany. Here they are. Now, I think it's safe to say that this team has tons of mechanical skill in Nesh and Kodak and Progi. But can they bring it all together here to secure a victory on their final group stage match?
And you know what? There's only one way to find out, which is to get this game started.
All right, you guys ready to get the matches started? Well, make some noise if you are. And we're going to go ahead and get things rolling and send things on over to our wonderful casters.
Thanks, Malik. Thanks, Zoe. Here we are, Italy versus Germany on the final day of the Paris group stage.
It's going to be fun. We are going to see Italy trying to put themselves on everyone's radar. Not really a huge Overwatch region in the past, but this year really seems that Italy's coming to play. They're being led by one of the first contenders players from Italy, Midna, on the main tank role. He's leading forward this tank composition to great efficacy from Team Italy.
He's looking pretty crazy, looking pretty strong on that Reinhardt. We've seen a lot of tank play throughout the entirety of the group stage, and I can imagine we're going to see a whole lot more too. Germany, however, one of the teams that haven't really stepped in those shoes just yet. It's really been Nesh on this Widowmaker and a few DPS picks here and there.
Yeah, a little bit more name value across that roster. We have seen Kodak really come into his own, and Progi, one of the newcomers on an open division team. in EU. They've made it to playoffs, Elitic, and we'll have to see if he makes it to Contenders Trials, Contenders next season. But for now, he's focusing on Team Germany.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. There is your Italian roster. Double DPS in Hearthbeat and Carnifax, Midna and Dragon Eddie on the main tank and the off tank, and Nissa and Bims to round out the support lineup.
And Dragon Eddie thus far really has been the superstar of the Team Italy roster throughout this entire group stage. He has been a very consistent diva, eating a huge amount of Graviton Surges. And Graviton Surges have been the name of the game for a lot of fight wins here, often combined with self-destructs. And that's where he also lends his hand, using those diva ultimates to combine with the Gravitons for some great wipes.
Apparently EU's very good at exporting tanks, and hopefully Dragon Eddie will find his name on a team next season. We'll have to wait and see, though. There is your Germany lineup. On the tank rolls, you have Froggy. He's been just going crazy on the Winston. We have Mette as well, who's been on the Diva more often than not. We'll see how he can actually test up against Dragon Eddie. We've got Cranks on DPS with Nesh and Kodak and Immortal to round up the team.
I'm going back to the Divas, Jaws. Mette has been on fire this entire tournament. He's been incredibly consistent, fragging out again and again. He really knows how to use the Diva mechanics to his best advantage, and occasionally he will flex over to the Zaya, but usually we see Nesh coming in with those 3-3 compositions. He'll pick up the Zaya himself, or Cranks will be doing that sometimes. Depends what kind of composition they're running beforehand. If they don't want to get snowballed or try and maintain ultimates, and you can see a little bit of swapping around within this German roster.
Well, as always, it will be Control to start us off with, and we'll see what map that is going to be first up. Looks like it's going to be Lijiang Tower. Okay, that is a very heavy tank map.
Oh, I have said tanks so many times, Jaws. It feels like it's just de rigueur now. Pardon me. And Control Center really is where tank meta on Lijiang came to bear. That's what we see the Reinhardts with their shields being able to shield everyone coming through a corridor. Lots of safe passage there until you smash together in the middle on that central point. But you do have a variety of maps. You can go to gardens where there are so many environmental deaths that it's incredibly dangerous for tanks without too much movement ability to stand near those ledges. And we see a lot of Lucio in today's meta play, so he has a lot of potential to boop on that 4-second cooldown, a pretty good booping range as well.
Pharah as well, because Nesh is quite formidable on the Pharah on his team British Hurricane back in EU Contenders. He's pretty terrifying. In fact, everybody on Hurricane can play that far, and I want to see him crack out that one, and I want to see a lot more Lucio boops. That's what I'm on it for. We're going to jump to a quick Control map explainer video, though. Let's have a look how it actually goes down.
This is Control. Two teams fight head-to-head for control of a common objective, located in the middle of the map. To capture the objective, your team must stand within its range for a set amount of time. Capture percentage is continually given to whichever team is in control. The enemy will fight to clear your team off and capture the objective for themselves. Losing control will pause your progress. Now your opponent gains capture percentage. If both teams are on the objective when one of them reaches 99% capture, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until one of the teams is cleared off. The round ends when either team achieves 100% capture. Each round is played on one of the map's 3 unique areas. Control is best of 3, so whichever team captures 2 objectives wins.
And now you can be the master at the Control game mode. It is Lijiang Tower, like we mentioned before, and it looks like the first stage that we're going to jump onto will be Gardens.
And like we talked about before, Gardens is, of course, ringed by that koi pond, which is an instant death pit if you fall into it. And well, you won't be falling by yourself, but you'll be aided by an enemy, usually a Lucio or a Boop, or like you said, a Pharah from long range with a concussive blast can put people down that pit and remove them from the game for an extended amount of time. Let us see, though, if anyone from besides of Team Italy and Germany will be aiming for those kinds of players, or if we're going to see what has become pretty much the expected here, Jaws, of the 3-3. That's 3 tanks and 3 supports being played by both teams. We do see a key difference between these compositions. We see Kodak coming out of a Zenyatta, whereas Nis is going to be out of a Moira. Moira gives you far more healing, but there's far more offensive capability when you play the Zenyatta.
Discord on a tank could be rather devastating, especially if you're Progy right now and if you're Midna. You want to keep your health bars high, and you want to keep your ult charge high as well. Reinhardt's normally the ones that have their ultimates charged up first, as they're just swinging away with the defense. That Zaya shield as well. Dragon Eddie's mech is going to fall first, though. Nesh is going to be able to move forward and finish off Baby Diva also. So Germany, 1 man up right now, going to move on to the point, but Binder refusing to give up any ground. He might have to now as Heartbeat goes down also on the Zaya. Nissa is going to take the first boop of the game and of the day, and that'll be Germany securing the point.
And there we saw Dragonator getting caught out during a rotation. Italy decided they wanted to move on to a point because they felt they were able to sustain there better with Nissa's healing, but they weren't able to do quite that. Dragonator slipped from behind mid in the shield and was carved through by Nesh. Getting high energy during these fights means that he's very much a danger to the D.Va, who cannot eat the sustained particle beam with the defense matrix.
Artifacts enters with the rally. However, a Coalescence is going to back them up as well. Beautiful shadow actually sends Nesh to the ground. Got to be very careful now as a counter Graviton Surge is going to come out also. So 2 of those expended already. Froggy already finding Bims. Maybe he's a little bit too far up there. And a shadow is going to hit Heartbeat. He's in no man's land now. There's no way he can escape Froggy. Dashing straight towards you. Does manage to secure the kill, and that will be Italy. Failing this push, however, if you look at Heartbeat already, 73% on the Graviton Surge. Nissa has actually switched over to the Zenyatta here, wants to be able to win at those tanks.
He wants to make sure that Progi is always fearing putting down his shield. And when you're a Reinhardt, you've got to think about how often you're going to be putting down your shield. The longer it's up, the more damage that it's taking. And if it goes down to 0, you don't have it available for a couple of seconds, leaving your team incredibly exposed to an Earth Shadow.
Progi pretty low, 2 sand barriers, 1 from each side. And now Heartbeat has got that Graviton Surge. He's going to pin one to the pillar, but it's only going to be Progi. No Transcendence to really help him there. Minder was there with this easy, secure kill, but that self-destruct is going to at least net one thing, and that is the self-destruct from Italy also. Striking Eddie's going to get the instant remake. However, both Reinhardt's now falling. Progi's going to have to make his way back to the fray. He has got Shadow available to him, so if he can get them before Midna can, it's going to be a rather easy fight for Germany. However, 80% now on the board. Italy have to make something work. So Progi definitely doesn't want to make that happen, though, as he is going to land that Shadow on a couple of people. Transcendence to heal them up. However, Heartbeat going down. No more shields for the Reinhardt in the front line. Midna falls extremely low as that Graviton Surge did hit 3 people. Cranks with a double kill as well. They're going to chase Nissa straight off of the point. 96, 97 now building up. Dragon Eddie, the last hope for Italy on Gardens. They do manage to get the Doomfist back on, but overtime's through, and Italy end up taking and forfeiting Gardens.
Some great generation there from Nesh regarding the Gravitons. He's already had 3 across the first stage of Legion Tower. 3 Gravitons, I believe. Heartbeat may have had 1, maybe a second. I didn't see his ultimate charge, but he changed to the Doomfist to try and get back in the emergency. Of course, you do change to the Doomfist when you're in dire straits when it comes to time draws, because Doomfist rollouts from spawn are so quick because of the movement abilities that he has. He can return to the fray in record time. That does mean when you swap over to him, you forfeit the charge that you had on the Xayah, and the Xayah's Graviton Surge can be what seals a fight.
Let's look at a brief pause. You can see on a mortal screen. Just discussing what they're going to do next. It's going to be fairly important. Could go into Control Center. That will be rather interesting. We've seen a whole lot from Control Center. We've seen a little bit of May coming out from Facility on the side of the Netherlands, so that will be fairly interesting to see.
Yeah, or you could alternatively go to the Night Market. And Night Market's a bit more laissez-faire regarding what kind of heroes you can bring out. You can bring out all sorts of things. We have seen Widowmakers there who go up on the respective high grounds and go to try and snipe each other from across the fairway. Or you can see some long-range hit scan, even McCree going around the lion statues. It does give some quite nice cover. Even see Sombra, who can play around the large health packs, or Tracer, who can move through those corridors to move in on the enemy opponent's backline. But I imagine, Josh, we're going to be seeing 3-3s. So we think about how that plays out. I want to talk a little bit more about how Moira versus Zenyatta affects that kind of matchup.
I don't overly want to talk about that.
Well, I think it's relevant, Jules.
I think it's relevant too. All I want to see is DPS. Just lock in 4 DPS and go 2 supports.
Well, Heartbeat did bring out the Doomfist, but what I was talking about, when we play Zenyatta versus Moira, you do have less sustained healing because you only heal 1 person at a time with a Harmony Orb, which has 30 HPS on the target which you give it. Whereas Moira can heal anyone who's in range of her Biotic Grasp for a staggering amount. That means you can build up that Coalescence incredibly quickly, but it does mean you're lacking the offensive capabilities of the Discord Orb. So when you have that Zenyatta, you have to be far more aggressive than when you're playing a Moira.
We did have a slight pause there, just an audio issue with one of the players, but it looks like it's fixed. So we're all good. We are into the game, and it will be Control Center rather than the Night Market. So again, we could see some variants here. See a lot of McCree and a lot of fire on this point as well. But looks like both teams are going to roll out with this 3-3. Kodak, though, changing something up. That's what I like to see. He's on the Ana instead. Nissa on the Zen.
And let's talk about how the Ana moves into this trifecta of potential support. She has the Biotic Grenade, which can deny healing to a tank, as well as giving a long sightline for which you can deliver huge amounts of healing. You can see everyone on the side of Team Germany, they're getting bonus healing, and Midden was getting none of it.
Oh, no, he wasn't. That Bio Grenade used offensively or defensively. And what was going to go down, though? Heartbeat actually did manage to find a kill on the in the mess on the point. And with that Ana too, that's another thing for Midna to actually worry about. You're hoping Dragon Eddy has your back, hopefully goes to eat the nade, but if you use it defensively, that's a whole lot more healing from Cranks, who delivers a lot of AoE, and Immortal as well. There's no one jumping through you. However, that sentence coming out, that's a lot of AoE healing as well. There's a shadow on the ground there. Here's 3 people with a nano boost as well. Midna in a lot of trouble here, but a stun onto Broggy is going to force him to actually retreat almost. Artifacts will fall, however, after using that stun ability. Can't use that for mobility either if it is down or your shield is broken. And will be Germany continuing to hold the point, 23% already. So Italy, and especially with this 3-3 comp with the Lucio, just want to engage after engage after engage, and they've got grab for the next fight.
And we're starting to enter the ultimate phase of the game here. Jaws, we do see Halfbeat and Nesh both sticking in with these Graviton Surges. The question is, who's going to be able to lay it down first? Nesh is going to pull the trigger.
He is indeed, and that's a big bomb at the back line. Doesn't quite find any though. I think that wall blocked the majority of that damage. Broggy though is going to splatter Midna all over the wall, however, and that'll be Dragon Eddy going for a quick reset. Doesn't want to feed Nesh even more ult charge. Cranks. Oh, Cranks actually knocked him off the edge. Okay, so he actually got the full value for that.
So that's an interaction mechanica. Often Divas will try and pull themselves off the edge so they do not get demexed, and they can save time returning to their full strength. But if you can get a knockoff before they go down, you will get credit for the kill. Oh my gosh, Midna.
Oh my gosh, Midna. But look at that personal shield there from Cranks, actually protecting 2 members. So Midna laying down the shadow, even past the Reinhardt shield. Wasn't really able to get anything. They weren't able to advance. He hasn't got that for the next fight. Graviton Surge on the central column. He's only going to find Broggy because he actually just walks into it himself. He's just going to take that for the rest of his team. Another nano boost from Broggy as he moves forward. Cranks is going to find one already. Broggy just swinging away, hoping to build up another ultimate. With that Transcendence coming out there, it's going to block a lot of that damage coming through from the Graviton Surge. But it doesn't seem to matter. He got erased as soon as that did fall. And that'll be Nesh picking up Halfbeat. 90% now. Italy have one more fight if they can actually get back to the point in time, but I'm not sure they actually can.
And to no one's surprise, Broggy has another Earth Shadow, but it's down to Nesh and Meta to try and block the ingresses of these tanks. It will be Midna on the Wrecking Ball, not getting there, Jules.
He tried to get there. He tried to get his skates on. Bims, he had that beat also. Could have used
Tried to get his skates on with the Wrecking Ball? Yeah, man. No, well, how's the ball going to wear some skates, Jules?
Maybe he runs, maybe he like decoys it so he jumps out the
Maybe it's a large single roller skate which the ball slots into.
Okay, I was thinking more realistic. So you jump out the ball as the Hammond, and then, you know, he puts skates on, borrows them from Lucio. I'm sure he's got an extra pair somewhere, and then skates straight to the point.
Okay.
I'm trying to think realistic. I'm not thinking about one giant skate on a ball. It doesn't make sense.
If we think realism, Jaws, the reality currently is Germany pretty dominant on that map, and now sit 1-0 up. After our control bout, we will be moving into hybrid, and for those of you who are unaware of our format here, we move from control to hybrid to assault to escort, all of which are different game modes within Overwatch, and the loser of the previous map will pick the next one. We have an open map pool, so every map in Overwatch is available. So when picking hybrid, Italy can pick any map from the hybrid pool that is in Overwatch.
Fairly large also. For that amount of maps, you can't really practice those. They really have to just concentrate on a few. But with Italy picking up the map here, we'll have to see what it actually is. They're going to definitely pick one that's been in their warehouse, and hopefully that Germany hasn't practiced all too much. It will be King's Row, a rather fan favorite since the beginning of time, beginning of Overwatch. It's been played, and it's one of my favorite maps too. And I can imagine most of the players would say the same.
King's Row is one of those maps where, once again, you can pretty much play a huge amount of different compositions. A lot of people will still go for the tanks that we've seen thus far, 3-3, but we have also seen through this group stage double sniper defenses. You've seen Orissas, you've seen Junkrats. I think double sniper here can very much be a boon for Germany.
We'll have to wait and see. If you're new to Overwatch, however, we've got a small video to lead you through it.
This is hybrid. Two teams face off as either defenders or attackers. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to first capture a payload and then escort it along a set path containing 2 checkpoints. To capture the payload, the attackers need to stand within its range for a set amount of time. Defenders can delay capture progress by also standing in range. The attackers must work together to clear away the defenders. If successful, they score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. The payload only moves forward when an attacker stands near it. Defenders can delay the payload's movement by standing nearby. To get moving again, the attackers must clear away the defenders by force. If even one attacker is capturing the objective or on the payload when the time runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until the attackers are either cleared away or they gain more time by reaching a checkpoint. Every time the payload reaches a checkpoint, the attackers score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. The round ends when the payload reaches the destination or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points and escorts the payload farthest wins.
Perfect, and there you go. Now I can be a master as well at Hybrid, and I can
Well,
finally
wouldn't that be
start
you
winning
losing SR, Jaws?
a lot on King's Row.
Now I, too, can derank to Master.
D-rank to Master? No. I can rank up to Grandmaster, rank up to top 500 and be in the position of these players too, and so can you. You can now start winning comm games. Italy versus Germany. Germany right now, 1 map up. Italy are on the defense first up, and this was their map choice as well.
We're going to have to deal with Germany's aggression as they come out here. We do see Progi hovering over the Winston. This gets me very excited, Jules. We may actually see some dive coming out between him and Mete. And Mete, as a great diva, his synergy with Progi for dives will be what tells the story here against Italy. You're going to have to be incredibly judicious as to where you plant your damage because you're looking at so much meat on the side of Italy.
Yes, you are. Germany, though, switching up to that 3-3. Kodak on the Zenyatta. They did roll out the door with a Sombra, just to get a little bit more information. Sombra, obviously, on the new patch, has infinite stealth, so you are able to skip in and out of the enemy team and just scout out what they're playing just before you do roll out the gate properly. That's it, like, oh, that's a very, very risky name. However, Kodak, more than safe right now. Naded a couple of targets there, so anti-healing coming. You're going to have to back. Kodak isn't going to be able to provide too much healing though. Like you mentioned before, only 30 HPS on the Zenyatta, not as much as the Arna can provide.
You can see that Kodak's a little bit away from his team. Minden brings down the hammer, but straight into a shield.
Hang on a second, Kodak was just ready and waiting for him with a tasty right click. Taking out the mech of Dragon Eddie as well. They're going to move from this statue onto the point. No shields now available for Italy apart from that personal one coming through from Carnifax. Not sure they all want to line up though. Nesh already has that Graviton Surge. And Germany, they're going to secure a tick on the point. Are Italy going to go for the reset though? I'm not entirely sure. Could run in with that rally, however.
And when the shield of Midna or Progi goes down, it will often be the Diva Mech that you see go next. That's when the Zarya locks on to that Diva Mech with the Particle Beam, starts building up towards that Graviton Surge by really farming off that defenseless mech. And you can see Nesh has got it. He's in the back. He's managed to hit Midna directly.
Oh, downtown. There's the Micro Missiles coming up from the Diva on top. Beautiful nade, though, coming through from Nissa to keep everybody alive. Plus that Nano Boost giving the boon of HP. Nesh is going to get punished in the sidelines by Dragon Eddie, who did manage to spot him out. Couldn't quite eat the grab just yet, but resulting in 1 man up. Beautiful shatter also, but that rally was there to save them. The majority of the HP was actually subverted there via the armor. Carnifax, though, they wanted to punish him for that and do end up taking him out. The cart is still moving around this corner here with 1 member down now for each. They're going to have to play a little bit more passively for the time being.
Immortal can force the issue. He's got the sound barrier, potentially going to lay it down here as Hartley comes in with the
I
Graviton
say that.
Surge.
Dragon Eddie throws in the self-destruct as well. Nesh now moving forwards. He doesn't really care that they've lost Cranks. They know they have spawn advantage right now. Midna, however, just taking dominant control of this car, making sure Progi cannot get any more progress pushing this forward.
He can. Nesh is going to slowly start building up once again towards that Graviton Surge, but they've got bigger things to worry about right now. It's Mede with a self-destruct. It does look like he gets caught on the corner.
Oh, he tried to stagger it there to make sure it instantly exploded as soon as it got round the corner. The sound barrier came down from Bims, eliminating Progi, and Nesh is going to fall as well. And now they can just make sure Germany just permanently in their spawn. They can walk forward straight on top of them. Can't get damage though when you're in that beautiful golden box, but the message is there.
This is the Italian aggression that I wanted to see, Jaws. No fear here off the German roster. They were pretty summarily defeated on control, but when we come to hybrid, this is where Italy come to play. Minda's ready to lay down the hammer, as he always is. Rogi's going to be catching up to him very soon, however. He's got to play a little bit more defensively while he's trying to build up towards this ultimate.
They should be able to hear them from up there. You know, they definitely see Progi's big shield. He's on 95% towards that Shatter. Oh, does get stunned up extremely low, and not entirely sure what happened there. I think Shatter came down from Italy. Didn't really land on anybody. In fact, Immortal was the first casualty of the war. Transcendence used from Kodak, but Nesh is already going to fall. At 300 HP, that's apparently not enough for the Zarya. She ends up falling, and Mete's mech goes extremely low as well. Germany are going to go for the re-engage. They do have a lot of ultimates there. They got Rally straight into the grab, self-destruct combo too.
A lot of ultimates on the field, like you said, Jaws. Everyone's going to get the group hug treatment from the double Gravitons from Hartley and Nesh. But of course, Dragon Eddie and Mete both have the ability to shut down the ultimate with a defense matrix, eat it, send it straight into the bin, force everyone to try again.
There's the grab straight on top of the car. This time it's coming out of the side of Italy. Can't tune it with his self-destruct, but it doesn't seem to matter. Midna's going to be able to secure one, and Mete's mech is going to go down as well. We'll see if they just want to execute him. Yes, they do. They want to go for the stagger. He is fairly close to his spawn room, so he could easily switch off. But this is, like you said, you wanted to see this. The aggression from Italy. And it's all on Nissa too. Germany can't really actually get to Nissa at this point. The long-range healing from the Ana, coupled with the damage boost, coupled with the nano boost, sorry, just provides so much additional HP. The tank falls low, no worries. So you're back, hit that Q key, and you're basically immortal.
I love the lack of respect here. You've got to make sure Germany can't play to their tempo.
Graviton Surge straight on top of the taxi. The self-destruct comes through as well. Mete is going to find one. Heartbeat is going to fall down, and so is Midna. And now Nesh just makes sure he gets on top of that cart. Every single meter is so valuable to them. A lot of time wasted by Italy here, which is fantastic for the time bank. They want to just delete it as much as possible. 1 minute and 50 seconds now remain for Germany, and they finally get it through the streets of London.
It's not the prettiest time bank, George. Germany going to be wishing they made their way through this a whole lot faster, but Italy holding strong in front of them, and now it is going to be the onus on Italy to try and engage onto the cart. Germany can just hang back for now, claim some space, and make sure that this cart is rolling forward towards that second checkpoint.
He's in my sights. He's ready to lay down that shadow. He can just move past Midna or stun him out of it using that Brigitte bash from Cranks. Rally through to Italy. However, now Heartbeat is extremely tanky. Beautiful shield coming through from Midna to block most of that. Self-destruct as well is going to get launched sky high. But only finds one actually. Mete is going to fall. In fact, I'm not sure how his mech got killed before Mete, but I'm not really sure how that works. But hey, it happened. Heartbeat was able to secure it. Cranks is going to kill off Midna. So it's an even trade for the time being, although a sound barrier coming through from Italy to push them forward. 60 seconds remain for Germany now as they unleash their own sound barrier to try and contest this cart even further.
Here he is. Carnifex going to be swinging away, but we're all caught in the Graviton Surge.
Oh, what a shatter. And they did land from this additional healing, but when you're on the floor, you can't use that Bardic rifle. Cranks is going to come up big as well, swinging in, keeping everybody alive and well, and Germany are going to find the second cap.
And you can see that often when it comes to these few compositions, you don't even need to combine with a self-destruct all the time. If you can catch enough people within that Graviton, Progi and Cranks, or any Reinhardt and Brigitte combo can just swing into those because shields don't block melee. So at least Reinhardt's shield doesn't and Brigitte's shield doesn't. Poseidon's shield will, but it does mean you're dealing a huge amount of damage and a cone of effect to everyone.
Uh-oh, one person caught in. It's Progi. Right out to the rescue though. He's going to use that Transcendence. Anti-heal on the tanks in the front line though. Got to be very careful now. A little bit more passive play. Progi does block the shadow from Midna, but he is nano boosted. So extra damage coming out from the Reinhardt and extra charge per swing on the ultimate.
Great spacing there from Germany to mitigate the nano boost. They had Immortal speed boost everyone back and then save his boop or his knockback to make sure that Midna could not get into range.
Another self-destruct. Progi's shield is up and he's going to block it. Midna's trying to go for the pin there, but just gets punished for it. He is going to take out Nesh in the end, but Progi is going to be there with the kill instantaneously. Cranks as well, just there trading 1 for 1 for the time, but with Nesh falling here, this could be a little bit of a problem. He's going to have to walk back from spawn. 90% on the Graviton Surge though. Still, Germany in control.
Yeah, when the enemy loses their main tank, you really want your Zayas to be alive because when we start farming off the health of the D.Va like we talked about before. Instead, Nesh is just a few percentage points shy of that Graviton Surge, desperately trying to get those mortars to work, but they don't have any energy to do it with, Jaws.
90%, 95, he's pressing that Z key, making sure his team knows it's almost ready. He's got the grab, just has to focus Dragon Eddy. He could go for the eat, he doesn't manage to get it. The Shadow's going to come through as well. Cranks is going to fall, and that self-destruct narrowly avoiding the team. It ended up behind the boxes, and Progi somehow ends up in the back line. Cranks is going to go man mode, dives forward, kills Carnifex, and now is Halfbeat on Dragon Eddy on the card. He has to be able to do something, but absolutely not. Cranks says, not today. Gives them the rocket flail straight out. Midna changed over to the Wrecking Ball, but it was too little, too late.
It was. He's having trouble getting to these cards. He's just responding a little bit too late, unfortunately, to get out there and start stalling. But Germany, they managed to do it with 10 seconds remaining, Joe. So that's incredibly important. If they had done that in overtime, there was a potential they would not get a second attack if Italy got a full completion here on King's Road. But now, because they have 10 seconds in their timing, if Italy do complete, they will have up to a cursory minute to allow them to have another attack, another go, and try this again.
I thought you were going to say go again.
No.
I don't know, that's what the chat's going to spam now. I'm not an enabler.
You are, you are an enabler.
Hey, I'm just saying. Germany now.
You're a slave to Twitch chat.
A slave to nobody. Right now, Germany are on the defense. So I can imagine we're going to see the same thing, but a variation we've actually seen from a lot of teams on this King's Row is this cross-flanking setup. We've a cross-window setup, I should say, with the Ana sitting 1-1 window, so it's incredibly hard for her to get dove, because you're looking at a situation where if you do plant yourself up on the high ground, if you use those windows for cover, Ana can sit on one side, then the rest of the team can sit on the other. If you do attack the point, you have to look one way to try and block all the fire coming through with your shield. Problem is, Ana's behind you. If she does get a big fat anti-nade on you, you will fall pretty damn quickly.
Not only that, you can go in a window that has a very narrow point of entry, so if you've got Immortal or Bims with you on those Lucios, they can just boot away Winstons or any other diving tanks as they try to come in. And then they've wasted their cooldown from the middle of your team, and they're going to get smashed very effectively, especially if you get that biotic grenade on them. I want to see if Italy are going to stick on these DPS picks, or if we're going to see some swaps up here. It does look like they are going to be returning to the 3-3. Dragon Eddie still here on that Diva. Not the Widowmaker.
No. Baited you a little bit there. Well, you know what? Germany did say that Conf and Hybrid was one of their favorite map types. Control, they did end up winning, of course, 2-0. We'll see if they can prove their dominance in Hybrid 2. 10 seconds remaining, though. Italy did a good job of just wailing down that time bank. They're falling very low here. You've got to be very careful. You are in the front line. Defense Matrix only lasts for so long. Kodak actually retreating there, too. Was scared of Dragon 80, trying to meet him up there. You can Defense Matrix away the Sleep Dart 2.
You can also defensive matrix away any Ana heal, so you can deny him from Progi if he does fall low. That's a major disadvantage that Kodak on Ana has over other healers.
Progi's not really worried whatsoever. He knows the supporters have his back. Carnifax overstepping ever so slightly, does get punished, and that will be Italy just retreating for the time being. However, the most important thing here is that Midna was able to actually build up. Also, Progi, 94% as well, and now it is just a shield game. Who's going to drop their shield first?
Well, there's going to be a huge amount of pressure coming in onto the shield of Progi with the incoming damage from Nissa with that Zenyatta. But for now, Midna's being a little bit more passive, wants to try and weigh up where Progi wants to go, who's now put up his own Shatter.
Oh, there's the Shatter. Cranks went into the shield bash there. 5-man Shatter. A perfect stun. Also, the right to make sure the Cranks didn't get pinned in the back line. Sound barrier from both sides. That'll be a Graviton Surge straight onto Dragon Eddie. Again, couldn't eat it in time, but the rest of the team are still alive. Progi, after all of that, was able to hold on to his Shadow throughout the entirety of it all. A self-destruct in the middle of it all, and Dragon Eddie finds one. Nesh and Immortal go down, and Midna can now just swing throughout the entire team. He's filled himself up yet another Shatter.
Indeed, he had some great play there from Germany to try and mitigate what was coming in. We saw Progi get the counter charge onto Midna after he did lay down 5 members with that Earth Shadow, and that was really what set Germany on the back foot. Kodak had to invest the Nano Boost onto Cranks to get him that big heal, the 300 HP instant heal, as well as a 50% damage reduction to make sure Cranks would not die from that pin if Progi was unable to mitigate that particular circumstance. But Italy managed to brawl this one out fantastically. Heartbeat with huge energy just carved through everyone. You can see exactly how close he is to getting yet another grab. He's really starting to get an advantage here, a premium on Nesh's ult generation.
Midna has a definite premium right now, has that Shadow, only 30% available with Progi. Maybe they want to pull that trigger early to make sure they can just wipe them time and time again. This could be rather devastating if held in this small corner. Shadow does land, but it does land straight and absorbed by the shield of Progi.
Oh,
and
that's a
Boostio just coming straight out. Look at those hit markers, man. Those headshots doing so much damage. Immortal just beating everybody back. As soon as Italy spotted that mistake, they activated that rally to push them forward. Carnifex obviously gaining additional speed when he activates that ultimate. And now with one of those big key survivability ults down for Germany, Italy definitely have the advantage here. Have that grab, self-destruct combo as well on them. Rally coming through from Germany. The grab that does end up hitting the corner. Progi's the only one actually caught up in it. In fact, take that back. It's actually Kodak 2. Beautiful pin as well onto Progi, securing 2 kills. And Italy just taking this map by storm right now.
They have momentum on their side, and they have the kills as well. Immortal's going to go down. Message trying his best to get out. Can they take out Nesh and get rid of that energy is the question, Joss.
Not sure. Oh, only just in the spawn room, it felt like. Point 2 has been capped. 4 minutes and 30 seconds now remain for Italy to only push 1 point.
Well, killing Nesh was absolutely essential. Remember, he couldn't keep the energy that he got from the 2 protective barriers that he used. He's just going to have to once again start off at 0 after having respawned. And he does have that Graviton Surge ready to go, but he isn't going to be able to back it up himself with a huge amount of DPS before he gets that energy.
Good Dragon Eddie ready and waiting to actually try and eat it. Midna, that's that Shadow also. He's going to get stunned up, and there's the self-destruct. I'm not sure it got anybody. No! Perfectly timed shield from from Hearthbeat there to protect the rest of his team. He was in the back where the self-destruct was actually going off. Proggy is still going to net the kill, however, on Midna. So Germany in control for the time being, but still, that cart, look how pushed up it is right now. Italy in a good situation. They have that grab coming up soon.
Great shield usage from Hearthbeat, not only to protect his team, but for Reinhardt, who was charged out as well, keeping Midna in the fray. You can see Dragon Eddie's playing the high ground here. They've got to constantly worry about the defense matrix bearing down upon them.
That is a very early transcendence for Germany. The re-engage right now for Italy could be so strong, especially with this stacking armor now built up by Carnifex.
They're moving forward. They do have a little bit of extra speed, but Hearthbeat's looking for a place to put this
Oh, right on the back line, but it got eaten. There we go. Flick of the wrist from Mete is going to be able to stop that grab going off. Hearthbeat now. Right. Unfortunately, with that grab eaten, it's going to be able to build one up fairly quickly if Dragon Eddie's not careful. He goes extremely low. Dragon Eddie definitely been a standout player for the side of Italy. Was actually taking the high ground there. Not something you normally see from the Divas. Ready and waiting on the high ground. Could be fairly easy to spot out and actually wrap that grab up. Need be. Mete is going to receive that sound barrier, but already Hearthbeat on 90% that Graviton Surge. Another bomb from Mete is going to secure the kill on mid there. Perfect combo for Germany. They're going to burn about 1 minute and 30 seconds of Italian's time back.
And while Dragon Eddie has been standing out, he also stands out to Nesh when he goes up onto that high ground to try and rain down the fire from above. He may well have control of a high ground, but what he does not have is Midna's shield, because Midna cannot have that verticality. And the second that Nesh sees Dragon Eddie move up onto that high ground, he starts farming him with that laser, building up all these gravitons. Hearthbeat's got a second chance, so he's built this one up rather quickly. Have to see if Mede will once again get the E.
Oh, Pruggy goes in for the early shatter under the car. They actually hit 2 members. Nesh is going to kill Hearthbeat, though. A little judicious there. Does move forward and ends up getting burnt. And so does Midna. That is actually disgusting. Nesh, 100% energy consistently. I want to see the average energy at the end of the game. The old stab is easily going to be 80% plus.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very high for both of these sides. We'll have to see if Nesh decides to go for a little bit of a sneaky graviton here. We know he likes to play around these high areas where people don't expect the gravitons to come in. But it looks like for now he wants to stay with his trusty main tank Proggy, ensure that he is very much protected. And more up in the sky for a moment there. He is now going to be rejoining his team, allowing a disengagement here.
Mizza has got the Transcendence, and we do have another support ultimate 2 on the side of Bims. Now Graviton hits the floor, but Nesh was able with his self-barrier there to keep himself upright, and now they're just going to march forward. The rally coming through from Germany once more to keep everybody alive and well. Graviton Surge perfectly placed, 4 people caught up, self-destruct comes through, Dragon Eddie in the wrong place at the wrong time, almost gets instantly demate. There's the orbs from Kodak to finish him off. Proggy almost dunked into the Foundry, but it is Germany that come up with the big kill there. Kodak's going to be able to take out Dragon Eddie, and Bims chase all the way back to the spawn. Italy still 1 minute now remain. Remember, Germany only had 10 seconds of their time back. Italy need to make something happen here.
Well, just as Germany's time bank was whittled down on the second stage, Italy's impressive time bank has been whittled down on the third. Dragon Eddie has yet another self-destruct like we talked about, and he's been incredibly effective with them in previous matches. He'll have to go bring it to bear here, though, because right now it's dire straits for Italy. They're so far from so many effective ultimates.
Germany not too far off of match point in the series either. Proggy still has that shatter. Nice stun coming through, however, it doesn't quite result in anything. Self-destruct launched over the top, but that sound barrier is going to block a lot of that damage. Midna in no man's land is going to get instantly killed, and Crank's coming up with a 2K. Graviton Surge, a little bit inside of the team there, Nesh. Not exactly where you wanted to put it, but it doesn't really seem to matter. 20 seconds now remain for Italy. They got one more push, but with Dragon Eddie getting stalled out here, he gets demech'd. He's going to have to make a quick swap up to make sure he can get mech back.
Bim's ready to make a move for the cart potentially, but instead he's going to go back, give his entire team the speed boost. Has used the amp it up, however, so we're only going to have 30% extra speed as they move forward. There is a wrecking ball on the field, however, Dragon Eddie's put himself on the cart and activated his adaptive shield.
He's going to be able to trigger the overtime, and that's what is important. Transcendence from Kodak. Everybody's alive and well in the front line. Dragon Eddie going fairly low under the cart. Midna lays down the shadow. Doesn't quite find anything, and Nesh is on the sidelines, almost getting 1v1 by Bims. A Graviton Surge goes out, and it's going to hit 3 people. Carnifex is going to be the first one to get the kill, but Midna and Carnifex are going to go down regardless. Mede with a self-destruct kill with a Bunny Blaster kill onto Midna. They still have a lot of bodies on the point, though. Dragon Eddie still available with that Hammond adaptive shield doing so much work for him. Kodak gets caught out just unawares by Dragon Eddie. He was trying to fight a Moira Coalescence 1v1, not where you want to be, buddy.
Dangerous times for Germany, but they do have attrition on their side. Dragon Eddie comes down with that pile driver.
Oh
There's a
no,
Bastion,
Nesh is on the
Jaws.
Bastion. He's had enough. He's going to tear through those shields and tear through the HP bars of Team Italy. Dragon Eddie comes up big and he's got that minefield laying it down on top of the point. But that sound barrier doing so much work for Germany right now. With Nesh completely uncontested in the back line. He's got 50% ult charge already, just laying down so much DPS. Someone needs to actually deal with him. Halfree now on the Reaper of all picks to try and get back to the point ASAP. A Transcendence from Kodak's going to end it all. Overtime's done. Germany end up taking match point.
And what a great read of a situation there from Nesh. He knew that no one would be able to move in onto him. Only potentially Bims on the Lucio could make a beeline for him, skating along the walls to have a quick, speedy engagement on the Bastion. But he doesn't really have enough DPS to duel out that Bastion, especially when the supports of Team Germany could just turn around. Kodak could give him a Harmony Orb, and of course, Nesh can heal himself on that Bastion.
Bastion, man, so hard to deal with. We even saw Hearth there on the Reaper, try and get the point back ASAP in the Wraith form. It's like, I'm coming, guys, no worry, I got the point. And Dragon Eddie as well, just stalling out for so long. Right, Wrecking Ball is incredibly hard to kill when he has that adaptive shield. I just don't really understand how he survived that long, but he did. That's an extra, like, feels like 7,000 HP when you're up against him, and as soon as he gets that off cooldown as well, he ain't dying too quick. He even built himself up towards that minefield too. And
also his movement is so fast, it can be incredibly hard to really land some consistent shots on him. Not just because it's hard to hit when he's so fast, but because he's consistently moving around that central cover of the payload. Often interrupts your line of sight where you can hit him. We saw that when Nesh was trying to lay down the DPS. He could have easily continued to track Dragon Eddie as he went around, but the payload kept getting in the way of the bullets, and it forced Nesh to reconsider his targeting options.
Well, with that victory, it does lead right now for Germany to be on 2-0. Scary situation for Italy now. They need to find the reverse sweep. We'll have to wait and see if that is possible. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC of the Overwatch World Cup, and by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
Oh, are you...
Ready to go to lunch? Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Right, but you're riding in the back seat?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's pretty spacious back here.
Well, sure, but there's plenty of space up front.
Yeah, no, that is true.
So, sit up here?
No, I'm good, bro.
You're good. I'm not good with this entire situation. It's like I'm your chauffeur.
A friend who's going to take his other friend to lunch while they both enjoy the wonderful spaciousness of this vehicle.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, if you don't get us there quickly, by the way, you're not getting 5 stars.
Sir, yes, sir. Right away, sir. Breath mint?
Don't talk to me.
Designed and focused around you, the Toyota CHR. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey guys, welcome back. Germany lead the series 2-0, but Italy, they still have a chance to find the reverse sweep.
And they do. They'll have to start Jaws on Assault. Once again, it will be their map choice as Germany has claimed Hybrid, and we do have an open map pool, so they can choose from Temple of Anubis, Volskaya Industries, Hanamura, or of course Horizon Lunar Colony. And I'd like to see something like Horizon Lunar Colony come out, bring out some sort of like pocket picks, try and catch Germany off guard, because we keep going to Temple of Anubis and teams keep sort of like losing expected matches, because a lot of people, Temple of Anubis was the first map that was designed for Overwatch. Everyone knows how to play it, and when you're trying to pull out a reverse sweep or an upset, in this case, potentially, then I think you can bring out the more rare picks.
Yeah, Horizon Lunar Colony would be an interesting map. I think it would fit Italy's wheelhouse really well. They're playing a lot of tanks right now, a lot of 3-3, and their ability to play Ana on that map too is going to be pretty insane, because again, you can set up these crossfires with the Ana, where Ana sits on one balcony and you have your tank sitting on the other. When they do run into you, Ana can easily nade you, or nade you from above too, because there aren't too many too many heroes with verticality when it comes to 3-3. You've got the Diva, obviously, but more often than not, it's boots on the ground, just ready to rock and roll. So could be a big pick for them. We'll have to wait and see what they want to pick. Obviously, it is going to be their map choice, like you said. But Germany right now, they not had the greatest of starts to this Paris group stage, but they're showing, well, they're putting on a show today.
And they are. And to continue the show, we do have a quick substitution coming in from one of our teams. It will be Team Germany.
Will be. Oh, boy. Got Massey coming in, and this is going to be fairly exciting. We haven't seen too much of Massey.
I don't think he's played this stage just yet. I think Team Germany were more focusing on the core 6, and Massey, they said, can play anything. So they just bring him in when they need someone who's pretty much can play whatever. This does mean that potentially we'll see a couple of compositions out of Germany that we haven't seen thus far, like maybe something with a Doomfist, maybe something with a Farah.
He can play anything, man. I want to see him just go like mystery hero
full
style.
Torb.
Oh, full Torb, yeah, you could. Hey, I'm saying it's pretty strong. And still a Q anyway. We're going to have a look at the map, though. Obviously, like we said before, it's Italy's choice. Nice, Massey. Just gave us a small dab at the end there. I saw that.
The Massey dab.
He's going to be Anubis. Okay, so no Horizon.
It's always Anubis, Jaws. It's always Anubis.
It feels like it. Maybe if it was because it's the first map ever created. Maybe people love it so much. There's a lot of variety you can do on the defense, though. We've seen a lot of Widowmaker play, a lot of Junkrat kind of holding up on the high ground with the Brigitte too, and being able to, again, set up that effective crossfire with the Ana, but it is Widow's playground, however. Whoever has dominant control on that Widowmaker on the map just seems to win out first point rather quickly.
And Carnifex has been able to duel out with Soon on the Widowmaker quite effectively, especially on Junkertown. He put on a bit of a show for us in the recent match between Italy and France, so we'll have to see if that will come to bear again. Instead, look over at the side of Germany, and Nesh is going to be the Widowmaker to go to, and I think that duel, if it occurs, will be one of the more interesting points about Temple of Anubis.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. To run you down for the Assault, if you're new to Overwatch, we've got a short video for you.
This is Assault. Two teams face off as either defenders or attackers. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to capture 2 objectives. First A, and then B. To capture an objective, the attackers need to stand within its range for a set amount of time. Defenders can delay capture progress by also standing in range. To resume capture, the attackers must force the defenders off the objective by any means necessary. If successful, they score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. Now the fight moves to objective B. If even one attacker is on an objective when the clock runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until either team is cleared away. The round ends when the attackers capture both objectives, or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points wins.
And that is the short rundown of how to play Assault. We're going to jump on to Anubis. Italy on the defense and Germany on the offense first up.
Well, we'll have to see. Germany here is going to be setting a pace car regarding what Italy needs to do to secure their first win and potentially a reverse sweep from there. But if Germany can claim this map, that does mean that Italy will be losing this series and Germany will be claiming their second of the group stage. And now, Immortal managing to take himself out. Managing to take himself out of the spawn charge, just using that self-damage of a Farah. Let's have a quick look at the Italian defense. We are seeing those DPS picks come out. I talked about it before. Carnifex on the Widow. I'm going to be very excited to see what he can do. He managed to duel out quite nicely with Soon before, and we know Soon to be an Overwatch League caliber Widow player. Of course, he's been doing incredibly well for the LA Valiant, but Heartbeat here. Bringing out a Junkrat, that's a huge amount of damage that Germany will have to worry about. Let's see if they're going to be incredibly vulnerable to it. At the moment, looks like Germany may come out with a more dive-based composition. Nesh could always change. Just get a little bit of scouting done on that Sombra first.
Yeah, Massey jumping onto the Genji, but he was subbed in as well. So they wanted to get him a little bit of play time. Now Germany have got that Genji. They've gone for this full dive setup. They've got Sombra also, like you mentioned, Nesh piloting that one. Carnifex on the Widowmaker is going to have a little bit of backup too from Bibbs, who's on at that Mercy. Carnifex taking a couple of pop shots. That was very close to Anna's head, but Defense Matrix there to save the day.
No headshot, alas, and now Heartbeat, he's going to be the main DPS for Germany have to worry about. Putting down the trap here so that if anyone dives onto him, especially Massey or Progi, they're going to find themselves caught within that and suffer a huge amount of damage. And you can see Italy, they're setting it up basically on top of this trap so that if Progi tries to get the maximum damage from that leap, he is going to be suffering for it.
Nice hack onto Dragon Eddie. Can't use that Defense Matrix any longer to actually save himself from a lot of this incoming damage. There you go. Hack eventually wears off. He's going to have to retreat for the time being. Means the rest of Italy are going to have to do exactly the same. Heartbeat going extremely low too. Nesh, no fear. He's actually going to hack Dragon Eddie in midair as well and find the D-Meg. Massey will fall first up though. He is going to go down to that Venom Mine, but Nesh just takes the game into his own hands, finding 2 kills himself.
Midna staying behind that shield, as will his supports, but Med is going straight in past it. Doesn't care about where that shield is, Jaws.
Absolutely not. Perfect team kill for Italy, for Germany there. Nesh actually earning himself an EMP as well. Massey falling first, wasn't able to actually get a lot of ult charge, only 55% on the Dragon Blade, but as could be all that they actually need with this EMP. Nesh already on the second point.
If he's managed to hack the health pack under the bridge there, this is huge for territory control for Germany. If he has given that up to Carnifex, I consider that a major misplay on the side of Nesh. I can't quite see if it's at the moment. I guess we'll find out later. But for now, he's weighing up his options here, ready to unleash the EMP at a moment's notice. Italy's going to have a huge amount of healing between Bims with the Valkyrie and Nissa with the Biotic Grasp of the Moira.
Don't be scared. There's Bims. He's going to get his wings clipped. If he's not careful, he gets chased up by Progre, but the healing is keeping him alive. Coming through from the Moira. Dragon Blade from Massey, who was able to build up an extra 50%. Nessa did not see that one coming. Walked straight into the blade. Massey finding one could be all that they need. He's going to detect a couple of bullets from Carnifex, who switched over to the Sombra himself. And he's actually hacked the health pack down below. We have Heartbeat on the emergency Doomfist as well. However, a tick has already been acquired by Germany, but Heartbeat refusing to give up this point so easily. It's going to demeg Mete. Proggy in a lot of trouble as well on this point.
Still got to worry about Proggy. He's racking their nerves with the Tesla Cannon. We'll take a quick retreat to get healed up by his supports, and here comes a re-engage from Team Germany.
Doomfist is definitely here. He just get knocked up into the air, straight out of his bubble, and with Massey going down, Proggy decides enough is enough, and he ends up backing off for the time. Heartbeat actually on 70% towards that Meteor Strike as well.
You've got to think about here. How did Carnifex manage to get that health pack hacked? I think Nesh should have potentially given up that scouting potential in the beginning to make sure he could get the hack on that health pack, because he denied so much territory control. If that would have happened, Carnifex would have been forced to swap off the Sombra and not have this hero, which is so debilitating to so many on
And another side. EMP though. Now Nissa being in focus first to make sure he can't get that coalescence off. Remember, when people are EMP, they do reveal if they've got ultimate or not. Mete's going to take out Heartbeat as well. Proggy getting nano boosted here, but it's going to get booped away by Bims, just sparing his life for the time, just giving mid the space also. Proggy backing out once more as Massey does end up going down. Has another Dragon Blade, but Minna just batting around his fellow monkey companion is going to make it back to the point. Not any percent was actually acquired there from Germany, even though they invested that ultimate.
I would have preferred that Nissa not healed up Dragon Eddie there and allowed Bims to heal him up with the passive charge of the healing aura to build up towards that sound barrier, because now Immortal has the sound barrier available, whereas Bims going to have to hit a couple more of those sound waves to get the last 21% he needs to make that happen. Immortal can control the pace of the game at this point, not only using the speed boost, but also gaining the overshield. And there he is, speed boosting right on through. We do see a change up to the 3-3 on the side of Germany.
They're going to run straight into Carnifex though, and he's got that EMP ready and waiting. Goes in, here you go, bada bing, bada boom. Dragon Eddie finds two. No shields for anybody, meaning it's an easy 2K. Minda's going to actually switch over to the Wrecking Ball here. He's going to be able to find an extra kill. Carnifex is going to be such a menace coming up against this 3-3. As soon as those shields go down or even one of the supports get hacked, Immortal is going to be, you know, not sitting there very pretty.
Now let's talk about the timing there of Carnifex's hack. He managed to hack both Nesh and Massey as they were moving away from that Diva Bomb, but they thought that they would be able to defend themselves using their projected barriers and their personal shields. Because of the EMP, they were not able to. Dragon Lady got a quick 2K, and then Italy was all clean up from there.
Oh, nice self-destruct straight into the back corner to try and find somebody, and it does. It finds actually Bims. He had the sound barrier as well, but double projectile now coming through for the side of Italy, and Halfbeat and Carnifex, who did end up going down to Mete after the dive. Kodak's in a lot of trouble, gets booped away. No more healing for the rest of the team. However, Immortal's there to escort him back to that point. Minda jumps onto the Wrecking Ball in a little bit of an emergency. Has activated that adaptive shield as well. Extremely tanky. However, regrouping our Germany in this small corridor, but that easy barrage straight on top of Nesh's head is going to eliminate him. Defense have the small advantage as well. Something worth keeping in mind. Beautiful knock up 2 straight on top of Progry. Eliminates Immortal with that self-destruct as well. Minda's just going to chase the rest of Team Germany away.
As they are, Minda's going to be using the grab wave potentially. No, he's actually just going to scout, chase him out, and wait for the next attack. And in that last attack, it really was on Halfbeat to continue distracting Kodak. Kodak had to continuously look in so many different directions. He couldn't really babysit Progi as well as he needed to, because Progi has so much to worry about. Against his double projectile DPS, his shield will just evaporate so fast, Jordan. And once your shield goes down, the rest of the 3-3 composition is just one meaty ball from which everyone can pluck ult charge how and as when they wish.
Ouch. That's not a good start for Team Germany. Kodak is going to fall to a Carnifex stray bomb, and he is going to that Riptire too, or at least unlock the Riptire, I should say. A lot of ults online, however, for Team Germany, 65%, so 20%-ish was a quiet last push. HD 1% more, or actually 0.2% more to actually secure a second hit.
I want to see rotation here. Progi using the Earth Shadow first, and then Nano Reinhardt swinging into Nesh's Graviton in order to build up yet another Earth Shadow. Then you can use Mete with the self-destruct out the point. Put yourself upon it to make sure you get some capture percentage accrues.
Rally from Massey is going to move the team forward. He's got to be very careful. Heartbeat on the sidelines. There's the Riptire. He's going to wait until that sound barrier actually disappears to get the most value. Rocket Barrage mixed with that Riptire instantly destroys Ness and Massey. However, Heartbeat is going to fall to Mete. 2-for-1, 3-for-1 trade now as Carnifex is going to find a nice kill onto Progi. Extremely hard is this composition to run into, and in fact, they're going to up on the side of Germany. Massey jumping onto that McCree to try and duel in the skies with Halfbeat. However, sensing this, he's going to jump straight onto Hanzo instead to find some long-range arrow hits.
And that's one of the difficult things about attacking in the zone map. Because the defense is so close to their own spawn points, they can quickly counter whatever you bring out, because they can just press tab and see what surprises you have in store. Massey, having moved over to that hit scan, like you said, to deal with the Pharaoh, was quickly taken it.
Uh-oh. Froggy activates the Earth Shadow there. Didn't quite find it, I think. Just a bit of dust. Graviton Surge on the top side there with the self-destruct launching straight over. Didn't quite land on the podium, which means Carnifex more than safe. Sound barrier also, and the minefield straight on top of Froggy. Way too many explosives he had to deal with. Ends up falling, and Immortal is corralled into his small corner. 10 seconds now remain. If Immortal can get a touch here, they can force overtime. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to, though. Dragon Eddie making quick and clean work of him. There is going to be an overtime push here as Massey does switch over to that Doomfist. Can play all of anything, remember, so he is able to pilot that one rather effectively. However, with everybody going down to Carnifex's bombs, he's going to earn another Riptire very, very soon. Froggy's going to fall on the hamster, and Halfbeat plucking Massey out of mid-air. Firm hold on the second point. Italy now get a chance to attack, and they only need that second tick on the second point in order to find the victory.
Massive actually charged into a trap. Carnifex knew exactly what potentially could be coming out of the stall composition from Germany when they were trying to move over to these high mobility heroes to get back to the point. So instead, he just decided to not lay his trap on the point and to try and deal with Mete and Progi, who were already there, who had the Discord orb on them. He decided to lay it down on the pathing to the point so that anyone using movement abilities to get back quickly would be caught before they could get onto there and trigger overtime to count down once again. That was some very heads-up play from Carnifex to make sure that the objective play was always in favor of Italy. I believe Germany, they managed to get just shy of 2 ticks, about 0.62 shy. Look at that, 65.8. They were so close yet so far.
Second tick, all that's needed from Italy. They get their chance now, and the reverse sweep is definitely real. And well, I want to see something rather aggressive again. We've got to see this dive. It's been just so paramount to a lot of these plays on Anubis when you are on the offense. More often than not, we will see Nesh on that Widowmaker, and that's exactly what we're going to see him on. Massey's going to jump over to that Junkrat, so like for like in the defenses here for Germany and Italy.
Nesh here on the Widowmaker. I talked about it in the pre-game, just like I talked about Carnifex on the Widowmaker. He's an incredibly skilled player. We've seen all through Contender Season 2 as a Widowmaker on British Hurricane, on Europe's only academy team, and really has made a name for himself as being someone who is very much able to click heads. We'll have to see if that will continue here against Italy, because right now, Italy have one of two options. They can go for this dive composition, but we saw come out from Germany on their point air attack, or they can once again opt for the more tank-based run forward. But for now, it does like Carnifex and Halfbeat will be going for those double dive DPS, the Genji and the Tracer. Dragon Eddy and Midna, the dive tanks, and this is going to opt for, well, this is what we call classic dive. Now it's a dead dive.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how long he was scoped in, man, but that was a very quick and clean headshot. It's instantly taken out. No resurrection available for Italy. They haven't actually got a Mercy. They've got double dive tanks, though, with, well, old school dive, in fact, with Lucio and the Zenyatta. Nesh was going to take a forward position there, but Proggy did actually miss his shield on the top of the ledge, so he had to back off, but didn't seem to matter, as Nissa did go down first.
He will be able to reset his Venom Mine now already. Midna suffered a headshot straight into the traps. Massey set it up. Nesh will knock him down. See a load of bims. Germany already have burned 45 seconds off the clock of Italy Jaws, and Massey, look at him, he's so close towards an ultimate already, as is Nesh. Nesh is going to be forced to move away quickly. The Dragon He's going to try and have a little brawl with him up there, but now he has ready for action. The Infrasight is going to make him even more dangerous.
Massey has the Riptide too. Oh, everybody's knocked in the air. Can he plug someone out? Yes, he can. Oh, Massey gives us the old 4,000 DPI swing. Beto is going to finish up the rest of the kills. Italy just got annihilated on that push, and they still have that Riptide and Infrasight. Apparently not even needed. They're going to want to pace this out, and Halfbeat is going to be in rather hot water if that does end up coming through, because he's going to get instantly spotted. There we go. Now they know exactly where they are.
Carnifex still around as well. They're trying to make sure he's caught unawares, but Midna's already on the point, and they have to decide to grapple out of this quickly.
Nice executed dive. Kodak falling first, and Immortal second. Was trying to save his Zenyatta, but it was too little too late. Carnifex tried to duel out with the Riptide, a little bit faster than you, unfortunately. Tracer not faring well against that. Lowest HP in the game, of course. Riptide doing about 2,000 damage. So. Or it feels like 2,000
damage.
It feels like 2,000.
Sometimes it does.
Regardless, it kills you through sound barriers, it kills you through literally everything.
But speaking of damage, Italy have done significant damage to the German defense. They will have approximately 6 minutes to attack point B, where they need to claim 65.9%, or about 2 ticks of the main point, in order to claim this map and start their road to a reverse sweep over Germany. Germany, on the defense, have decided to change Proggy over from that Orisa onto the Winston, but he's already feeling incredibly low. He has to worry about how much healing he has available here. 3 supports, but Massey has to be in deep against Italy to really proc those rallies to heal him up.
Carnifex has got that pulse bomb too. If I was Kodak, I'd be extremely scared right now. However, you can activate the Transcendence to stop that damage being inflicted on yourself, but that will be one big support ultimate down. That's possibly what he's waiting for here. There is 6 ultimates on the side of Italy, and in fact, I take that back as 3 get used. Transcendence to stop that Dragon Blade damage, and that's a self-destruct on the point.
Good rotation
going on. Oh, that's a 2,000 health Midna just running at the other tanks on the sidelines, and Sound Barrier did get laid down as well. Nesh is going to find the first kill in Nissa, but still Italy just firmly planting themselves on the point. Halfbeat does get knocked away, but that giant health pack below is going to save him for the time being. Nesh is going to try and chase him out, however. Now Halfbeat caught in the wrong place. Meta is going to secure the kill, and that will be Germany holding for the time being.
Thing is, Nissa went down first, and he's the linchpin of this dive competition. He needs to be able to put the Discord Orb onto the target that is called by Midna or by Dragon Eddy. And we can see now Italy is going to change it up. They want Halfbeat back on the Regida, but usually Halfbeat is the one playing the Zai. They give Carnifex with Regida. Instead, they want to entrust Carnifex with the McCree. He's going to be the long-range hit scan. He's going to be a huge amount of burst damage here, and he's going to be following around Nissa's Discord Orb.
And most importantly, he's got a stun also. Stun into stun from Halfbeat can end someone's life rather quickly. A rally coming out from Germany. They are on the point, and they have got their Hanzo now as well. Already 50% ult charge though. few straight arrows, hitting a couple of tanks in the front line. A couple of nice headshots from Carnifex, though, building up his ult rather nicely.
Indeed it will. You can see here Germany do not want to mess with that Peacekeeper. They decide that Italy needs to come to them, so they will force them to not be able to get that long-range damage.
Transcendence coming through from Kodak, activating that first. And now everybody can jump straight in. A delayed one from Nissa might be very good for them, however, that is definitely not, as Mete does send a self-destruct in and annihilate Bim. Carnifex, oh come on with a big Deadeye, my friend. You've got to wait for that Winston bubble, though. Mete is going to dive headfirst in, escapes alive somehow. Carnifex not of the similar fate was going to fall. That was Germany still holding, and they didn't even use Primal Rage there, and have the Dragons available to them as well.
Oh, this could be a terrible stagger coming through here from the side of Germany. Dragon Eddy caught in that small diva form. There's no hack available, though, so potentially he could remake. But if he does so, he could just be melted down. Kodak is going to end his life from afar. Orb of Destruction from downtown in Germany. Of course, now have Nesh on the hands over. That's some long-range damage, and I think he's moved over to this to try and deal with Carnifex. Carnifex, of course, is that long-range hit scan, but does suffer from damage drop-off. Nesh does not suffer from that and can do far more damage to tanks by doing 125 damage per arrow, very effective against armor, as well as having the Storm Arrow ready to go at a moment's notice.
Oop. This just pushes off the enemy Winston there. He's going to have to be a little bit careful. Dragon Strike ready and raring to go. He's going to reveal everybody from the Sonic Arrow and split everybody up too. Dragon Eddy going low, but he is going to be able to escape using those thrusters to get to high ground, and Minda using that Primal Rage to try and kill off the Brigitte. Nasty in a wrong place at the wrong time. Artifact's extremely low, only 1 bar of HP. Is going to get healed up now as well.
What a shield.
Or at least trying to. The shield does come through for the Winston in order to actually block the majority of that damage. However, still kill lead for Italy here, as 2 members are going to fall for the side of Germany. Spawn advantage and that rally going on is going to make Brigitte very hardy to actually take down. The Transcendence 2 is going to follow up as Minden just jump on the wrecking ball to get back to the point ASAP. Nesh somehow managed to build up another Dragon Strike in the midst of all that chaos, and a self-destruct onto the point might just be all said and done, but with the ball jumping in, delaying a lot of that damage with that adaptive shield, Minda is still going to survive. There is one tick almost being acquired here, but Kodak's got something to say. He's not letting this point go over so easily. He's going to take out Minda and Carnifex. Now one tick acquired by Italy.
The first tick is there, but the support of Team Germany are moving back in. Mass is on the corner with the shield up. He's going to be taken down by the flail.
The reverse sweep is still real for Italy. Almost there. They've got 10% more to go. The wrecking ball has come out for Germany as well, as Better just jump onto the point. Nesh still just flinging arrows left, right, and center as Dragon Eddy and Bims end up going down. Halfbeat just cyber-bullying Broggy in the sidelines here. Is going to get taken down by Midder in the end, but still, Brigitte still alive on the point, and another Dragon Strike, 3 out of 3 in this fight already, and that will send Italy packing.
Italy just weren't able to take down those beefy targets fast enough. We saw Progi and Massey both hiding in respective corners with their shields up, making sure that Italy had to break through those before they were able to take down those players. Midna going to be moving over now to the Reinhardt, and this is dire straits, Jaws. Italy are 1 minute away now from losing the series. They're so close that they only need to get one more tick on this point, because they didn't get the first one on their previous attack.
Dragon Eddy, Nesh was up there, mate. You need to kill him. He's doing the majority of the damage right now. Sound Barrier and the Transcendence layered on top of each other, not normally what you want to see. Progi is going to fall first for Germany. And now Nesh finally almost taking care of 2 HP, ends up falling. He's going to get spawn advantage, however, like I mentioned before. High Noon being used to scatter everybody to the 4 winds, but Kodak, he's in the 4 winds right now, completely demolished on that Zenyatta. Halfbeat takes a little bit of revenge as well. He's going to find Mortal. And now Mete is extremely low, has to be the surviving member on the point. As he's doing a good job activating that rally, and that minefield will delay Italy for a short while here, but the problem is they've got a rally of their own in the back line. A Shatter might just end it all as he does manage to kill Massey. Ness is going to fall also. Just 10%, that's all that's needed, but they are still managing to get to the point. Finally, Proggy's going to get there. Mete's going to find it there as well, but Italy only just managed to scrape through. They do find the win on Anubis.
Midna there, the hero with a 3-man Earth Shadow managing to charge away. The Wrecking Ball had been so... It just impaired so much, Jaws, the ability to capture that point, because he could get back so fast, and he was so elusive once he was there, just swinging around that central pavilion, always keeping the point contested and making sure that that percentage could not be accrued.
Koth and Escort, or Hybrid, sorry, was the map favourites of Germany, and they did say it's one of our strongest game modes, and Anubis apparently on Italy's side. We'll have to see what they want to go for Escort. It's going to be Germany's pick, of course.
Yeah, Germany's first pick of the series here, and that does place a large barrier between Italy and the promised reverse sweep that could occur, but they still are alive in this series, Jaws. Italy not dead yet. Germany, however, I imagine they're going to be feeling pretty confident, going to be able to choose whatever they want from with Paul, and I imagine we might actually see ourselves going to Rialto, where the tank play is more prevalent, and I think thus far, I think it's fair to say that when it comes to 3 versus 3, Germany have been more often winning out.
Yeah, they have. Nesh had a very good few shots on the first point on the defense there, coupled with obviously the mines coming out from Massey. It's good to see Massey getting some play time also. He was subbed in at half-time if you've only just joined us. However, we've got a lot of maps in that map pool. In Germany, they've been practicing a couple, I can imagine. You normally want to focus on at least a couple in order to actually not spread it too wide. Got to get down that practice time. They've had a long time together, yes, but it's really the experience maybe from Nesh. He's been to so many World Cups before, just really driving it home. Let's have a look what map it is going to be, though. Germany's choice of Escort.
That's for Whipcrack, that's for Rawhide. We're going to Route 66, Jaws, and I'm not surprised at all. This is where Nesh can once again flex those Widow-making muscle, and I think we may well see Massey at some point come out on a Farah. But potentially here, we see Orisa come out from Progi. I wonder what we are going to see from Germany. On the side of Italy, it's a little bit more of a mystery.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But if you're new to Overwatch and you don't know how Escort works, we've got a short video for you.
This is Escort. 2 teams face off as either defenders or attackers. This is the payload. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to escort the payload along a set path containing 3 checkpoints. The payload only moves forward when an attacker stands near it. Defenders can delay the payload's movement by standing nearby at the same time. To get moving again, attackers must clear away the defenders by force. Every time the payload reaches a checkpoint, the attackers score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. If even one attacker is near the payload when the clock runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until the attackers are either cleared off the payload or they gain more time by reaching a checkpoint. The round ends when the payload reaches the destination or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points and escorts the payload farthest wins.
There we go. We're going to jump straight on to Route 66. Italy still hopes and dreams very much alive here, trying to find that reverse sweep. They'll be on the defense and Germany on the offense.
Going back to the old reliable are Italy. The 3-3 as to be expected, but something we noticed about the style of Route 66 defense over the course of the World Cup draws, when it comes to these 3-3s, it's very often incredibly aggressive. It's just like Rialto, where you see people moving straight up to the cart the second that the attackers leave their spawn, not giving any space away for free, maximizing how much you can drain from that time, like even if you're losing fights.
Dragon Eddie trying to taunt from top of the gas station there. They are using the Ana instead of a Zenyatta this time around. Ana especially effective on this map because once more, there's a lot of long sight lines you can make use of. Something cheeky that happened from Italy. Maybe a small engagement to start us off with. Remember 3-3, pretty good at running head first into other comps. However, Germany, they're going to do the same. Kodak not on the Ana though, he's going to be on the Zen.
Italy are going to want to move straight in onto Kodak here. They don't want to tussle with Progi in the front as they will have the initiative, and instead they decide to reveal themselves and just stay on the cart. Now, Minna versus Progi once again will be the match of the day. Massey's move forward, that's a huge knockback onto Progi.
Beautiful nade as well coming through from Nissa in order to secure a couple of targets with that anti-nade. It's going to be the big problem here. You can't, once more, again, challenge that Ana on the high ground. He's really up to the Diva in order to eat that nade or challenge her himself. But the problem is, you can see this small slope here. There's no other way to actually get up on there unless you actually go for the full wraparound.
I think there's a combination move there from Carnifex and Bims after the shield bash to make sure that Progi went flying all the way back in half beat, could find unshielded targets, just farm up with the speed.
Cheers for the ult charge, thank you very much. There's Heartbeat, there's the shadow, hits the ground, and Heartbeat find himself a triple kill. Okay, he's ready to rock and roll. 80% on that Graviton Surge as well. Minna building up to that shadow extremely quickly. They're going to hold fast. They don't want that payload to move at all.
After maybe filling the kill feed Jaws, but he's about neck and neck with Nesh when it comes to generating these Graviton Surges. The question is, who's going to pull the trigger first on these? Nissa ready with a nano boost, can of course make sure that Minna can build up that Earth Shadow incredibly quickly by swinging into the Graviton.
Oh, fat nade lands on the back line. Got to be careful now. There's the rally, there's the grab. Here comes the nano. Reinhardt straight on top of one another. He's going to get a couple of swings off to try and actually get another shatter. Self-destruct used here by the side of Germany, and a beautiful pin all the way downtown onto Progi. Minute is going to be able to find the kill in the end, and Massey letting his shield down for a moment. And Dragon Eddie and Midna are going to take advantage of that. However, the ever-relenting assault from Germany is going to net them a couple of kills. That is a very downtown ult. It's actually going to pick up one. Dragon Eddie popping off here, but with that, Germany still have the spawn advantage, so they were able to get back to the payload a lot quicker and finally get it rolling.
Dragon Eddie doesn't care if you think your fight's won. He's still going to take out Immortal, but that does mean Immortal didn't get the chance to finish off the Sandbar just yet. He's going to have to rely on the passive charge to bring himself up to that ultimate. Progi has, of course, got the Earth Shadow ready to go, and right now it's all going to be about Germany trying to pressure down the shield of Midna, and they can do that very effectively since they have the Zenyatta in their roster.
Yeah, they did a little switcheroo there. Now it looks like Italy are attacking. I know it's actually Germany. Progi's getting bopped around, but he's already going to find one kill. Nice pin on Spartafax though. Progi is now falling. However, Progi annihilated with the sleep dart is going to make sure Dragon Eddie is going to feel that one in the morning. Heartbeat falling also. Germany doing a good job thus far, pushing through. Had enough of Midna's shenanigans, and Nesh finds another couple of kills. Just clearing off the last one off the car, and Germany find another team fight win. They should be able to cap here. Italy, not sure they're going to be able to get back to the car. Bims is still dead.
Progi's going to be on edge here. He knows that Midna has been able to build up towards that shadow because he was alive for the longest time during that fight, as well as having pinned him towards the end. He knows that Midna here can be as aggressive as he wants, trying to make sure that Progi just drops his concentration for a second, drops his shield at the wrong moment, and allows his team to hit the ground along with the hammer for the Earth Shadow.
Graviton Surge already though. Yeah, he's hitting that Z key. Everybody, we've got to get ready. No self-destruct to combo with it though. You do have the Shadow for follow-up a little later on. We'll see if Midden wants to lay that one down first. Can go under the car with it, of course. Now she's going to activate his first, and there will be the slow and delayed bomb from Mete, just sliding it across the ground. The encroaching doom of Mete's bomb is going to find one, and that will mean Nesh just securing a couple of kills for the rest of his team. Are going to find another win. However, Italy still banking up their ults for the big bang later on.
Well, when we talk about ult economy jaws, Germany only had to invest in 2 of the combo right there, the Graviton Surge, and of course the self-destruct. And got them a pretty clean team fight, but Italy, like you said, they're banking up quite a bit. They do have all 3 tank ultimates here. They can have an all-or-nothing combo to potentially win out a fight very cleanly by using all 3 of these at the same time.
There we go. They need to use them. However, we talked about it before, the Shadow more often than not used first here in order to build up another one off the grabbed targets. The rally to make Italy a little bit more hardy. Well, it's going to push them forward a little bit more slightly here. Midday is going to get knocked around, but a nice secondary barrier there from the Zarya. Progi gets stunned out of his Earth Shatter, so that's not going to be available for the next fight at all. But Massey's going to activate their rally and turn.
That's tragic for Germany. That was their main
Graviton Surge straight into Self-Destruct. Transcendence there, trying to keep them all alive. Self-Destruct is going to get completely blocked, and so is that Earth Shatter from Midna. 0 out of 0 right now for those Shadows actually connecting with everybody, but Midna still fighting on the car, making sure it's not moving. 1 minute and 50 seconds to rely on the time bank though, and the sound barrier is going to come down for the side of Germany, ignoring Midna completely. Immortal's going to find 1 kill, and Carnifax activating that rally. This fight's over. This fight's not over just yet. Graviton Surge from Germany to lock everybody in place, and Heartbeat and Carnifax will end up falling. There's Progi with the pin on the mech to dislocate the rest of Diva, and she will end up falling.
That's such a confusing fight to watch, Jaws. It looked like it was going Italy's way after Progi was turned out of his Earth Shadow. It looked like it was going Germany's way when they laid down themselves a Graviton Surge. So many ults flying here and there, and crucially, Nissa was forced to use that Transcendence, but not in time to save Midna. And that meant that basically, Nesh was able to farm up a Graviton because he was throwing himself into the mech of Dragon Eddie, building up that Graviton, and Dragon Eddie's mech was just regenerating, meaning he had basically an unlimited amount of ult charge.
Somehow Massey has got another ultimate. Graviton Surge, I believe. Oh no, I misread that situation a little bit. Progi definitely did not though, as he manages to find a little bit of damage on the front line, and still stopping this payload coming through. However, has been capped by Germany here, so Italy, they're going to have to take this fight, and it had to be rather short, as Germany now move it into the warehouse.
You can see how Italy, as they play this, they are trying their best to burn down the time bank of Germany, Jaws, and now only 2 minutes remain here for Germany to try and make their way through the entire 3rd straight of Route 66. It's one of the most defensively oriented areas in the game. We're going to see long-range hit scans here because, like you can see, this sight line is so long and so open, there's very little cover available. But it doesn't look like Italy are going to be sticking with this 3-3, as are Germany, and so many ultimates are ready to go. Italy, once again, packing all 3 tank ultimates.
Yeah, she's using that high ground rather well, but Dragon Eddie has got him in his sights, just trying to bait out that Matrix Matrix. There's the Graviton Surge straight into the Transcendence. However, with Carnifex falling, can't put up towards another one of those ultimates. Another self-destruct comes out from Mete, and is going to end the life of Midna. And now they choose to activate that rally to push them all forward to the victory. They got a minute and 19 seconds remaining here, Harry. We'll have to see if Italy are able to touch. Midna now on the Wrecking Ball.
That was such an impressive Earth Shadow there from Proggy. He made sure that Midna was down on the floor, could not charge him away to make sure that was working. Now Midna back on the Wrecking Ball.
The ball is on the field. He is able to touch the card to stop him from moving. He's just rolling around everybody, but rather easy target here for Proggy. Is going to punish him for just that. Extremely low is Midna, has to back off for the time. However, this rally armor is still available for Germany, so they are extremely tanky. And Dragon Eddy once more just kind of farming people from the skies, but Mete taken out too. Dragon Eddy is going to punish that one. A Shadow does hit the ground, and Proggy doesn't quite find anybody. Self-destruct now on the point. Carnifex using that personal shield in order to get it, but now no stuns are available for her. Emergency Doom Fist coming out from Heartbeat, but it was too little too late. Couldn't land in the abilities, but Midna might just be able to land these. The mines have been used, but that Transcendence clearing most of them out. With Proggy swinging as well, is going to make sure none of his teammates are victim to them. Now the ball is coming into the action. Heartbeat does manage to get the spawn off as well, but punished once again in midair by Nesh. Beautiful tracking from the German.
Massey has come out on the Emergency Doom Fist, has beat out Heartbeat thus far, but it looks like not much is going to be gained from Proggy's Earth Shadow.
Oh, Proggy just sent himself to the drink. It's going to end up in the back line and instantly taken care of. Nissa is just so happy in the back line, just slinging orb after orb, and now overtime is here. Only 2 meters actually remain for Germany to deliver this one down. A nice Graviton Surge locks 2 squishes in place, but Doomfist comes down with the Meteor Strike and the punch on Ness to make sure the rest of his team stay alive, as they were too scared to actually approach and get damaged by that Meteor Strike. Got to be careful though, as the sound barrier coming through from Germany might keep them in this for the time being.
Immortal making sure that everyone was very much hardy, but the overtime is going to tick down. Great displacement from Germany, but didn't need to kill everyone, Jules. They just needed to make sure they were not on the point, and that's exactly what they did. Germany not with the full completion, but it's still a pretty respectable distance through 66. But the reverse sweep hopes of Italy, Jules, they are very much alive here. This is very, very winnable.
Winnable, boys. Just a full completion is needed. It was about 2 meters off from actually completing the entirety of this map, and we'll see what they want to do now. Are Germany going to do exactly the same thing as we saw them before? Because, like you said, we could actually see a Farah here. Would make a lot of sense if 3-3 is going to be run around this corner. There are so many archways that you can kind of hide behind, plus Steve is really the only thing that's going to be a danger to you.
Absolutely, and because around this main choke point, you have this large sort of sign here on top of Big O, so you can play around the rocky outcrops of the valley itself. You do have a lot of aerial cover you can try and use to get yourself away from something like an Anna that may be a little bit more dangerous to you on the ground, should it be ran with the 3-3. But I imagine we probably will see just a couple more tanks.
And imagine we will. Would you look at that? And we're just throwing himself off the edge. Just making sure, hey, we can run talk, by the way. But we can imagine that's going to switch straight into a support. I believe it does. There we go. Heartbeat doing the same. Hey, we can run Farah too.
We did see a Farah.
Yeah.
Just knowing the capacity that I wanted to see it. Germany here, I imagine we will see once again the very aggressive hold. This is all about bringing down the time bank, Jules. They know they haven't got the completion here. They need to just make sure that Italy's time bank does not allow them the luxury of having multiple attempts at that last straight of Route 66 if they make it that far.
No forward positioning here from Germany. They want to take a little bit more of a passive approach. Don't want to hide in that broken train you can see next to the diner and the spawn room. Can't imagine we're going to see a Symmetra. There we go, Dragon Lady. Switching on. 3-3 though. Although I take that back. Okay, they're actually going to Sonic Arrow the train to make sure they're not pulling what Italy did in the first round, but we'll have to wait and see how far they do actually get it. 0 meters on the cart. Permanently contested. Artifacts moving forward though. This is already going to go down. Tasty right click from Kodak is going to eliminate him, meaning that Germany play a little bit more aggressive now.
It does look like Italy are going to back straight off, George. We don't want any of that without Nissa, and I think that's a good choice. They could have fed a whole lot more ultimate charge to Germany, or made sure that a huge amount more of their time bank was lost by committing to that fight while Nissa was dead. So this was a correct choice. Kodak here is deep into the back, doesn't want to have any aggression moving onto him.
That speed boost is also scary if you're Zenyatta, extremely immobile. Some of those flame strikes, apparently, if you're a Brigitte. Bruggy just taking names and numbers right now. Picks up a double kill, and he will earn himself an Earth Shatter to boot. That's Germany still holding. Remember, Italy did exactly the same thing, and they did hold for about a couple of minutes. So you can imagine it will take them just one ult cycle, really, to moving forward.
Broggy has the premium on the Earth Shadow here, has it ready to go. Minda still lingering at 63%. We'll have to get a few more swings in, but so defensive is Nesh with these shields, but it's so hard to get any damage onto Progi. And every time you do, you will be feeding Nesh more and more energy to build up towards that Graviton Surge. Already 72% of the way there. Kodak, of course, having hit so many orbs of Transcendence is ready to go. Should Progi fall incredibly low, 300 HPS at his beck and call.
Uh-oh, Massey's got the ult too. He's going to have to get it extremely quickly. Falls extremely low. There's the Shatter. 3 down even for the side of Italy. Heartbeat is going to be the first person to fall, and that Transcendence from Kodak built so early on is going to aid them in their victory in this fight. He even claims another kill as soon as he does drop out. Minute is going to fall, and Italy still cannot get this payload moving.
Positioning of that Earth Shadow was perfect. I mean, that Mask could come along, get the correct angle, line up a whip shot, and make sure that Heartbeat was falling off the map. No amount of healing will be able to save him from that environmental death.
Double rally coming through. There's the long range downtown Graviton Surge. Not as mixed with the bomb, but they're going to try and eliminate one. Sound barrier used in order to try and subvert a lot of that damage. And Progi once more just taking out Carnifex with that beautiful flame strike. They're going to force Bims and Heartbeat away. They really do not want this payload to move. It's actually been teetering back as well. If Italy don't actually touch it, it is just going to slowly roll back to that 0 meter spot.
Germany, they were very hungry to try and make sure Heartbeat couldn't escape with his energy, but Progi fell solo. They couldn't afford to risk losing him. Kodak, he's going to be charging up more right clicks, wants to get that second Transcendence on the go. Looks like that's exactly what's going to happen, but for now, Progi in danger. A quick retreat here from Germany. They've got 2 ultimates ready to try and make a counter-engage with the supports. It's up to Kodak and Immortal to try and figure out what the tempo of this fight needs to be, Jaws.
Kodak's looking crazy, man. He's got himself another Transcendence. This guy builds him up so quickly. He's going to force Italy all the way back. They have to wait for that to get off. 300 HPS, remember. That'll be so scary. So, invulnerable as well as you do move forward. Nice Shatter. Hits 4 people. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. A Transcendence as well from Italy to move them forward. And a sound barrier to boot might be needed as they are trapped in that Graviton Surge. There's the bomb in the back. Wow. Mete finds 3. Let's go. 45 seconds remaining. This is Italy. They need to be able to push this cart. This is their hopes and dreams of actually taking this to a map 5, dying right here, potentially.
I'm pretty sure Massey just got the most perfectly timed shield bash right there. There was a failure on the charge from Progi because of Italy concentrating their knockbacks onto him. They knew that the main win condition there for Germany in that fight was to charge out mid and remove that shield from the fray of the Graviton. They managed to make sure Progi could not, but they did not account for Massey.
Oh, they got one on the floor, and it's going to be Carnifex. However, once again, coming out big with a sound barrier is Bims, making sure everybody stays alive. They're going to move forward, and Progi going extremely low. A denied Graviton Surge coming through. Heartbeat guy is completely eaten by Mete. Progi is going to find yet another Flame Strike kill with 3 seconds remaining. That self-destruct's going to have to be big. Doesn't quite connect, but Dragon Eddy is still on the point. Nesh is so highly charged, though, and eliminating Midna is an absolute field day from Nesh. Another eat here coming through for Dragon Eddy. He's eaten so much this tournament, he's going to have to keep this one up. His mech is going to fall, and Carnifex is going to fall even further. 0 time left on the board for Italy. One Zenyatta versus the world wasn't quite enough. Midna's jumping onto the emergency wrecking ball, but Germany going to take it right here, right now. 3-1 in the series. Germany find the win.
Italy had hoped for a reverse sweep, and for a moment they had that glint in their eye. We've taken Anubis. We can bring this series back. Germany put the foot down on the throat. They say no. Nesh there. We'll play the game on the Zaya. Some good Gravitons all day around. And I think Nesh probably, for me, has been my MVP of this series, George.
Definitely so. Not only can he play the Widowmaker, he plays a mean Zaya. It's all about bubble management when it comes to that 3-3, and he was winning them out more often than not. But you've got to look at Italy as well. This team did extraordinarily well on Anubis. Their defense almost infallible.
To contextualize that big old hug between Progi and Bims, they do both play on the Open Division team. Elotic over in the European Open Division, they will be in the playoffs and potentially will be able to make their way all the way to Contenders Trials, potentially Contenders, so I'd love to see them there, Jaws, and you can see just how well the Overwatch World Cup group stages can showcase this up-and-coming talent, not only to Contenders teams, but to Overwatch League coaches and scouts as well. I almost said Overwatch League couches.
Couches. Well, hopefully none of them will be on the Overwatch League couch on the bench. I mean, 8 new teams coming up in Overwatch League. Prime grounds to see who is good and who can actually stand up against the current OWL talent. I mean, France coming up later, they got 4 members of their OWL players themselves, and they have looked, you know, fairly strong. But some teams have actually taken maps off them.
Formidable.
Formidable. Is that actually French?
I don't know.
Formidable?
I'm
Okay,
guessing.
you're literally just making up on the spot. Nice. Okay. Well, you tried.
Well, who knows? But let's also give some credit to Italy. They did manage to take Temple of Anubis with some ingenious comps, some great play from Carnifex on that Sombra, being able to control the territory against Nesh. When you're doing that Sombra versus Sombra duel, you really got to be able to hold your nerve, because the second that you come out of stealth and try and hack someone, that's when you yourself are at the most in the most danger of getting hacked. When you're hacked, you can't use your translocate, you're a sitting duck, and everyone will prioritize killing a Sombra when she's hacked, because otherwise she's just so elusive.
One main man in the front line that was instrumental to the victory of Germany is Progi, and we've actually got him on the floor with Malik for an interview.
Thank you very much, guys. Got Progi here with me and Luti here on the translation. First off, congratulations, man. You guys were able to secure a win in your final match of the entire group stage. And I want to ask you, how do you feel about you guys' performance overall at the World Cup this year?
Well, we had some struggles early on against...
This is Progi. You're getting the cheers, man. You're getting the cheers. Give it up for Progi. Yes, please.
This crowd's just amazing. I love you guys. But anyway, so we had some struggles, especially in our second games of the day. It felt like we were very low energy after the first game, because we're like a team that gives everything in the first game. And then second game against Netherlands, and same as against Poland yesterday, we struggled a bit with energy. But overall, against France, obviously, that was a nail-biter. I'm a bit sad that we lost that one, but I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was great.
Indeed, we definitely did.
The energy in this room when these guys are cheering is crazy. It's carrying me up. I'm playing better because of it.
Il joue mieux grâce à l'énergie que vous lui envoyez, mesdames et messieurs.
100%.
Alors, ce qu'il vient de dire, évidemment, c'est que c'est une équipe qui donne tout le temps sur le premier match, donc les deuxièmes matchs étaient un peu plus compliqués pour eux. This is soon behind, that's why he's soon, he's not booing you. Et du coup, voilà, ils ont tout donné sur le premier match, et ils l'ont vu contre la France, ils vous ont donné un très beau match hier. Il est quand même assez fier de ce qu'il a fait, mais malheureusement, c'est pas passé pour eux. Il est quand même content d'avoir gagné la dernière game.
Indeed. All right. Last thing, since this was you guys' last game of the group stage, one thing I like to do to all the players is give them a chance to talk to their home audience. So if there's anything that you want to say to the home crowd, I'm going to give the mic to you and turn it over.
Well, we're a bit sad of how we performed in results. I think gameplay-wise it was fine, especially against France, UK we did fine, but we're a bit sad, so we want to apologize for the results, but I want to thank everyone that was cheering for us, for all the support we had. The community is great, and yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope it was exciting games.
On est un petit peu déçus forcément de ne pas s'être qualifié, mais on remercie tous nos fans et toute la communauté qui a été derrière nous. Désolé pour le résultat, mais merci beaucoup à vous.
All right. Thank you very much, Progi, for your time. And guys, we're going to go ahead and break down all the action that we just saw right now with the casters.
Progi's a superstar, man.
No need to apologize for all that action. I'm thoroughly entertained. And as you can hear, the crowd definitely is as well.
Man, like he said, the energy in this place is just absolutely insane. And he's mentioned they are a team that just gives their all in game number 1, all of that energy. And you can imagine they're just absorbing that from the crowd. And you can really see it in their play too. When they are on fire, they are on fire. They do not lose a single team fight.
Let's have a look at what Progi was doing. He was just talking, but let's have a look at what he was doing in game. Here he is on the Reinhardt. That's a huge amount of damage done right there. 45k or thereabouts, just swinging away.
43k damage blocked as well.
That's 90, George.
That's oh
You're
yes,
so blind.
I said I'm blind, almost blind in one eye, man. Leave me alone. It's not even. That's actually on my good side as well. I don't know. 93%, 93k damage blocked. 29 final blows. Those are Reinhardt too. You are in the front line, getting those final blow kills. I can imagine most of those with the flame strikes. He had Carnifex's number.
And so much damage blocked as well does mean that Progi is saving his team from a huge amount of that damage, making sure that the enemy team were having a lot of trouble building up those ultimates, especially making sure that Halfleet was having trouble building up those gravitons and allowing Nesh to continually gain that premium when it came to building up the gravitons. And that is really what can seal the momentum deal when you are going 3 versus 3.
Well, let's have a look at some of the highlights from that series. Germany taking this one 3-1. Italy had some incredibly impressive plays too. You can see Progi, as always, in the front line. He ain't scared of nobody. Nice shout out onto Heartbeat. And this, again, comes down to the coordination and comes down to the ability to play 3-3. These teams haven't been playing together for a whole lot of time, you know. They aren't contested teams. They aren't our teams who have months and months and months of practice. So getting this 3-3 down to a team like this is something to be impressed by.
Indeed it is. And Kodak, I think, was also one of the standout superstars for us. He did play the Zenyatta quite a lot over the course of it. I don't think we saw any Moira from Kodak over the course of the day. Instead, they were always opting for that additional offensive power that you can get from a Zenyatta, or the additional offensive power you can gain from Biotic Grenade or from Moira, and that really does sort of move into the aggressive style of Germany when they're playing in these 3-3 compositions. And we saw shades of that aggression when Italy were on their defense, just pushing Germany all the way back to their spawn. Aggression really is where these teams can shine.
That's the boy we wanted to see on your screen. Dragon Eddie with the bombs, with the eats. This guy's got a very, very good diet of Graviton Surges. There you go. Another two-piece on Massey and Nash. Just, again, maybe Poco needs some lessons from Dragon Eddie, man. We'll have to wait and see.
He's just whispering to him, like, behind the scenes, so you've got any good bomb
got
spots?
any hot strats, man? Right up an FAQ on how to strap those self-destructs in. Right, Nesh as well, just another fantastic player we see a whole bunch of in contenders. Can play a whole lot, can play anything from projectile to hit scan to tanks. Doesn't really matter when it comes to Nesh. Hyper aggression, same with her Heartbeat here as well. We was keeping up in Graviton Surges as well throughout the entire series.
The Italian aggression, like I said before, is exactly what I like to see, and this was such an innovative comp from Italy to try and defend this. They brought out the Doom Fist, and they brought out the Wrecking Ball. They had so much knockback because they knew that they didn't necessarily need to even win this fight. They just need to get everyone off the cart, and the displacement was the priority there. Even if the target prioritization could have used a little bit of work, they were all moving different people away from the cart, and that was incredibly effective. For actually just winning out the objective, you don't need to kill everyone if you just win.
No, just kill it. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's true. Another win condition.
Another win condition, just win.
Just win. Go ahead. Well, with that, Germany take the series 3-1. And you heard the crowd. They've really chanted for Progi. They were really behind him. I hope we see him in next year's contenders or even out. Remember, 8 slots opening up. So all pretty exciting stuff coming over the next couple of months.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of player slots as well. If we assume like every team would pick up 12 players or even 10, that's 80 players who could be coming in. And when you're looking for players, well, look no further than the Overwatch World Cup. This is a great stage to show off what you've got, and I know that each and every player here really very much appreciates the opportunity and loves to show off for all of you guys, both at home and in the stadium.
Well, the crowd's going to be doubly excited for the next match. It's going to be France versus Poland. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. Match number 2 coming up very soon.
The Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC of the Overwatch World Cup, and by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.